Right, let's get you fitter, shall we? Let's get you moving, but without asking you for 50, 60, 70 pounds a month for a membership, or having to trek off with your towels in your bag and your this and your that. Because I tell you what we've got now is one of the best forms of exercise for those people who really haven't done a lot of exercise in their lives, or conversely, for people who are quite active. And Emma Redmond, you are back with me.
Oh, I am back, and I have to say I'm feeling very relaxed right now.
You're loving this, aren't you?
I know, even though I am working out. This is brilliant. This is the Vibra Master Exerciser, and what this does, it creates real powerful pulsating vibrations, and it's going to give your muscles a real high-speed workout. And it does it because the vibrations are going to stimulate those muscles to contract and relax. And what I love about it is that it's really good for all different levels of fitness. So you might not work out at all. You might be a bit like Larissa here, who works out quite a lot. It is just an all-rounder, it really is.
Now listen, because it's something you stand on, are we just working our legs essentially? No,
it's going to work your whole body, so it is a whole body workout, and depending on what position you do, you can actually target different parts of your body. And I've used this for a few weeks now, and I really enjoy using it. You don't need to use it very long either, around about 10 minutes a day, and then you can kind of build yourself up to kind of 25, 30 minutes.
That's my kind of start, isn't it? Something that's not going to lead a lot of time. Again, you don't need special gear for this either, do you?
No.
You know, you could be doing it, I guess, barefoot if you wanted to, because there's a nice grip on the surface, or pop your trainers on. But you could be, essentially, you could be doing this in your gym jams. You don't need your best gym gear.
No, and this is what I love about it, is that you don't need to kind of go anywhere for this workout if you haven't got too much kind of space in your room or in your house. It's great. I mean, let's face it, who can fit a whole gym in your house? You can't do it, can you?
No.
So this is great, as long as you've got a bit of a space and a little bit of space behind it. I'm just going to step off it because I want to talk you through it.
Yeah, how does it all work?
Right, this is brilliant. So you have got your plates here, and you've also got the control board just at the bottom. Now you can change the time that you're on there. You can also change the speed as well, so you can kind of tailor it to kind of how strong you want your workout to be. Really simple to use. You just simply press the on button, you use the control panel, and it also comes with the resistance bands as well. As you can see what Larissa's using now, so you can actually give your upper body a workout at the same time.
Ah, okay. So Larissa here, she's kind of tensing her muscles as she's working against the actual vibration movement.
Yeah.
So that's what's doing this. So instead of, I guess, what you would do, you hear people talking about reps all the time.
Yeah.
So actually, is this just doing that faster then?
Basically, and it's doing it for you. Now we can see Larissa, she's doing some quite kind of advanced moves. But if you did want to maybe just kind of help tone up, this is really good for de-stressing as well, and also really good for circulation. So for example, my granddad is obviously very older. He's about 90, and he does have quite bad circulation in his legs. Now what you can do with this, you can actually sit on the couch, you can just simply pop your feet on here and you can turn it on, and it's going to help with that circulation as well.
That's a really good idea, because you might have the same kind of problem as well. There's a number of different conditions that can affect circulation, and we'd say to you always to check out with your doctor before you do anything like this. But because this is low impact, I mean, if you're running, if you're jogging, you've got the impact on your hip joints, you've got the impact on your knee joints as well. With this, you're nicely balanced, aren't you? It's actually more your muscles rather than your joints working, isn't it?
It is, and it depends kind of what position that you get in. That will work kind of different parts of your body. Now you can see that Larissa is really fit. She works out quite a lot, but this is really good just to kind of like help to tone those muscles. I'm just going to do the more basic moves.
Yeah,
if that's
go for
all right.
it.
Just to kind of show you how you can kind of like do different moves.
Yeah, get us started
with this
from
one.
nothing. We've just got it out of the box.
Okay, just got it out of the box. You've switched it on. There's just a switch at the front, and then you've got your control panel. If I just give you the remote control, I'm just going to give that to you just for a second, just to hold on to it. But we've got a great remote control as well. So actually, when you are stood on it, you can change the time. You can also change the speed. You can also set programs as well. So maybe you do want to have it for a certain amount of time at a certain speed. You've also got a walking, a jogging, and a running function on there as well. So it's brilliant and it's handy, and you can just kind of keep it in your pocket, or maybe on some of the outfits that you do wear when you work out. You've got your little zips in.
Jump on if you will, because I want you to see as well that when Emma gets on, that it doesn't change the tone of your voice. You don't suddenly go all wobbly.
No, you don't.
Which is great. So this is all about the resistance work that it's doing, and you can see straight away how it is getting your whole body moving, from your legs and your lower leg muscles, because actually the more you kind of tense your muscles and move positions, the more more muscle groups, it's working. And they say actually in low impact exercises, you might actually only be working around about 15% of the muscle fiber. With a vibration plate like this, you're working up to 90% of those muscle fibers. And I tell you what, that for me sounds good. Now at the moment, any bit that you can see and you can feel obviously wobbling a little bit more, that's the bit you can kind of clench and tense a little bit more, so your muscles are working against the machine. Yeah, it is. It's kind of like holding that position as well and kind of holding your stomach in. If I wanted to kind of make this more about my legs, I would just squat ever so slightly. I'm really bad at squatting, I have to say, but I can squat ever so slightly, and so now you're actually doing more of your legs here. I can kind of feel it at the front of my legs. I can also feel it in the back of my legs, and as long as you've got a straight back as well and you're holding your tummy in, you can really notice it. Can I show you some arms as well, if that's okay? Yeah, of course you can. Get down and show you some arms. I was just going to say to you as well, I've got one of these at home from when we did them the first time around. And I tell you what I find is over the years, since I'm the wrong side of 40, this has gone a little bit south. My backside, I'm thinking of. And actually, since I've had this, I've noticed a bit of that tone has come back. You know how you can lose a bit of definition over time? I found I've got a little bit of that back in the places where I want it back. And you know what, if you're holding your stomach now, I can kind of feel it in my stomach. I can really feel it in my arms. Now, if you wanted to give your arms a really good workout, if you can see what Larissa's doing, she's doing some push-ups. So she's combining some push-ups and almost like a planking position, which is a very, very popular exercise because it's a really effective exercise because it's working the arm muscles, it's working the leg muscles, it's working the lower back without any high impact. It's also tightening up the buns as well, I believe they call them. Which is great. And that's the kind of exercise that you want. It's not exercise where you need to, you know, what's the whole gym routine with a lot of people right now? It's a palaver, isn't it? It's a packing the bag and all of that kind of thing, driving to the gym, then being an hour at the gym and that kind of thing. And it can take up a lot of time. Now, listen. You know how much it is to sign up to a gym, no matter what time of the year it is, even if they've got a special offer going on. What happens over time is it builds up and up and up, and before you know it, you're paying 40, 50, 60 pounds a month to a gym. And do you know what? We've all been there. I've done it before. You have to sign up for 12 months, and how often do you go? 3 times in the first month, and then you go, that's it. That's more than hard work for me. This is in the comfort of your own home. And unlike a lot of those other gym systems, even channels up and down from where we are right now, we've got great big machines that need wielding in and out of the house. They take up lots of room. And do you know what? What do they become? They become glorified clothes airers, really, don't they? Because wet washing goes on them to dry. You don't actually use them. $99.99. I have to say, I think is the lowest price. And I've seen vibration plates on TV, as I'm sure you have as well. I have to say, I think that's the... Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Stop everything. I've seen a lot of these vibrations machines on TV before. I think that's already pretty much beating whatever I've seen on screen before at $99.99. But that little siren that just went off means that, and this is quite a hefty machine to send out to you, let me tell you, because it needs to be for the power that it has. We're going to send it to you with no postage to pay whatsoever. So our $4.99 regular postage charge per order here at Price Crash, which is brilliant considering we send some really big heavy ladders and all sorts for $4.99, we're wiping that out for you. So if you want to get this home and you want to try it and you want to start exercising right now, maybe because we are coming up towards that time of the year where we consume and consume and consume. It's coming up towards, you know what it's like. So rather than waiting for the new year, how about getting this right now? Let me tell you, for those people who are maybe recovering, maybe you've been going through a long-term treatment, it's been making you feel dreadful, it's been making you feel terrible, it's been draining you, and you just want to come back from that. And you're not confident maybe about going to the gym because everyone's super fit and beautiful, like our Larissa here, and you think, that's not me yet, I'm not ready to go to that stage yet. I would say give this a try. Now, Emma, you're sat there in a very zen-like position there. I feel like I should do this. Are you still exercising? Yeah, you're still exercising. You're still working your muscles because you've got these vibrations that are stimulating them and they're contracting and relaxing. So I've got quite a flat back and I've just actually pressed it, so I've turned it off now, so then I can actually change positions. But as long as you've got kind of like your back, you're upright, and as long as you're kind of holding your stomach in as well, it is a really, really good workout. I want to show you a different position as well. Yeah, go for it. Just for the legs, which is really good.
So I'm just going to pop it on a slightly different speed. So we're going to just press it on there.
And you can see a variety of different movements you can do. And what you'll do is you'll find an exercise which works for you and where you start seeing the difference that you want. Well, and I think that's great because you've got such a variety of exercise here. It's not just about standing on it. Now, you are essentially resting your legs on this.
Yeah, and this is why it's so good for circulation too. So if you're someone who hasn't worked out at all, maybe you've got a job where you're sat down a lot, maybe you're a truck driver perhaps, anything like that.
Yeah.
If you're a little bit older, you don't get out very often, you don't get to move around quite a bit. This is a really good way just to kind of like relax those muscles and just to kind of help the blood circulation as well.
I think it's about the time in your day as well, isn't it? If you think about it, a lot of people are signing up to gym memberships. That's a big commitment. It's often a 12-month commitment, isn't it? It's often 40, 50, 60 pounds a month. Even if you've got a cheaper gym membership, even say it's 25 quid a month, you know, you work out what that is over 1 year and you keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And how often do you go? Because we always use the excuse, don't we? Oh, well, I can't fit it in today. I've got the kids to look after. I've got work to go to, blah, 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 blah. We find reasons not to. And the great thing, Emma, as well, is this takes up hardly any room whatsoever.
Oh, it's brilliant. And you know what? You can just store it away. If you want to pop it under your bed, it'll go in a cupboard. You really don't need that much room at all. As long as you've got a little bit of room behind you and also in front of you when you're adding on to those resistance bands, then it's brilliant. You can take it away with you as well.
I honestly, I'm dumbfounded how this is under £100 because I've seen a lot of these. In fact, they have them in a lot of the gyms, don't they, Emma?
Yeah, they do. They have them in a lot of the gyms, but they do actually have the kind of stands on as well, which are quite big and bulky to hold on to. But I think with just having the vibration plate, you've got nothing to hold on to. It's just going to kind of work all your whole body.
Yeah, and often I do know, and I've heard from people I know who are gym instructors and gym owners as well, they actually have these machines in and they actually end up with a queue of people waiting to get on them as well.
Yeah.
And listen, there's no queue here for you whatsoever. If you want more than one by any chance, by the way, if there's two of you working out together, then please do order as many as you need. Remember, it is free P&P right now as well. Shall I take you through what you're actually getting here as well for your £100? Because I think this is a great deal. I have to say, for me, it's the best value of this type of machine that I have seen on television. So it's the only one that I have seen so far, my personal opinion, that I've seen come under £100. Usually they start at around about 130, 150, and there are more advanced versions which can go up to £300 and £400. We've got your opportunity to try one now, get it home. You will get the Vibra Master itself. Remember, it comes with a set of resistance bands as well, and you can build up the resistance as well as you become more experienced. Now, whilst you're on it, the girls at the moment, they're using the controls, sort of touching them. You can see the display there, and you actually can move the controls up and down, but you do get a remote control. So while you're stood on the machine, rather than having to change it, oh, it's a little bit slow, I'll bend down and get it a bit more faster, you can actually do that via the remote control as well, which is really, really clever. It's a very, very simple remote control. Does come with full instructions as well. Remember, we're doing this free postage and packing right now, and it's quite a hefty machine in terms of its weight as well. So I'm surprised that we're able to do it for just £4.99 P&P. That is amazing. And when you can see that even if you're sitting down on the machine, you are exercising, I think it's brilliant. Do give us a call right now. And it might not be for you. It might be for a member of the family. Do you know what I mean? It might be someone that is recovering from maybe a long-term illness that's making them feel dreadful. You know what it's like. A lot of people are recovering from quite a lot of different things. They're still taking quite heavy medication and they want to bring themselves back to feeling human again. And I think this, Emma, would be amazing for that because you can start very slowly and very gently, can't you?
Yeah, and have a look at the instruction booklet when it comes as well, because it has got the basic positions that you can do. Like I said, there's even one where you can actually sit on a chair and just put your feet flat on the vibration plate and it will help with the circulation, helps to kind of de-stress you at the same time. But if you go online, because there are plenty of videos as well that you can actually look at, that have got so many different exercises depending on kind of which part of the body you wanted to tone, you know, which kind of part of the body that you wanted to focus on. And they also do have like full-on programs for you as well, so you can kind of do 10-minute exercise programs up to 25 minutes. So I'm actually sat on it at the moment. I have to say, it feels really nice. But if you wanted to kind of make more of your stomach at the moment, so I can feel it a little bit here because I'm kind of holding my stomach. But if I actually kind of move back slightly, I'm just going to put my feet up there. There we go. Now,
okay.
You're really engaging the core there, and that is a really, really good workout. Some people kind of like put their arms up here if they wanted to, but I kind of like just hold my stomach. If you want to make it a little bit easier, of course, you can put your hands on the floor. It's totally up to you kind of like how advanced you want to do these moves.
So this is about taking very, very simple, gentle exercises, making them non-impact in the first place. Because remember, if you're jogging and if you're running, you're actually only working really the lower body, aren't you? You'd be working the hip joints an awful lot. You'd be working the knee joints an awful lot as well. You see with Larissa here as well, you can actually step further out onto the plate as well, or you can actually stand right in the middle. You will find your comfort level, and actually that has something to do with intensity as well. So you can make it less intense, but essentially what you're doing is lots of repetitive exercise even quicker, almost without the hard work. But you do feel it once you've had maybe 10, 15 minutes, and it tells you how to build up in the instructions. But once you've been on it for 10 or 15 minutes, you come off and you do feel that buzz, and you do feel like it has done something, don't you?
Yeah, you do, because you do kind of feel relaxed and you do feel a bit de-stressed, like kind of with any exercise that you do. But like you say, if you do build it up, because it does suggest you do about 10 minutes a day, and then kind of build up to sort of 25 to 30 minutes. But again, you know, make sure you do check with your doctor first. You might kind of exercise at a gym at the moment, perhaps, and you're kind of wanting to kind of like bring it down a little bit. All the different reasons why you want to start exercising. But it's not kind of a case of a real quick fix workout. You just want to build it up slowly. This is why it's good for people of all different fitness levels. It's just not for someone kind of like Larissa or me who enjoys running. You know, if you do have kind of an elderly person in the family who just kind of wants a little bit more of a circulation boost, then it's going to be really good for that. And you can just see what Larissa's doing there. I mean, that is kind of really advanced, but you can see how fit Larissa is.
Super hardcore. But you can see, actually, if Larissa was just doing that exercise on the floor with both of her hands on the floor, she actually wouldn't be working as much of the muscle fibers as she is right now. The fact that she's got this other hand on the vibration plate, on the Vibra Master, means that she's working more of those muscle fibers. They say that actually with regular exercise like this, you're working around about 15 to 20% of the muscle fiber, but adding the Vibra Master or a vibration technology to that, you're working up to 90% of the muscle fiber. So it is effectively 2 or 3 times more effective. Now, of course, individual results are going to vary. I'm not here to tell you that it's going to turn you into the body of your dreams within 2 days. But what I will say to you is that if you're the kind of person at the moment who is determined to change something, you want to get started, but jogging's not for you, running's not for you, the gym's not for you, for a multitude of different reasons. Listen, I have got too much sitting here. I think a lot of people have. The muscle tone isn't all that you would like it to be. Sometimes, and I would say, get this home and don't do 10 minutes a day. Try 10 minutes 3 times a week for the first week. See how it feels. We're not saying, okay, as soon as you get this home, you've got to be on it half an hour every day, religiously, at 4 o'clock till past. We're not saying that. What we're saying is, if you want to take that first step in the next direction, in the right direction, you know it makes sense. You want to be around for your children, your grandchildren, you want to feel better, you want to go into your old age as fit as you possibly can, then this is a way of trying to help that along the way without committing to big gym memberships, without using machines that you're going to feel silly on and you don't know how to use. This comes with full instructions too, Emma, as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And it's really comprehensive as well about how to get started. And also it tells you about different buttons on the control panel, also the remote control as well. But you know what? This is really good. Maybe you love watching the soaps. You can actually sit on the couch and you can put your feet on here as well. So you can kind of do in your leisure whilst you're working out.
That's a good point. If we all just stay silent for a second, there are 2 of these machines on fairly high power, and they are whisper quiet. In fact, they're quieter than the quietest fan that you might have in a room. Do you know what I mean? They're really, really quiet. Much quieter than a hairdryer or anything like that. So if you're watching the TV, that would be amazing.
Might be a new mum, which is really good. You want to get started perhaps after just having a baby. This is a great way to get back into shape.
Listen, are you, and I'll be completely honest, you know, I appear on a lot of different channels, as you know. I'm seen from all angles, and I know when I turn to the side, I'm not entirely happy with what I see. I know I need to lose what is sitting here right now. And listen, I know we're coming up to the time of year where we consume and consume and consume. And come January, why does everyone wait until January to take a step in the right direction? Why don't we start now? This is one of the best prices I've ever seen on TV for one of these vibration plates. Remember, they're the kind of things that the gyms have in them. They're the kind of they're the kind of machines that people actually wait in line for their turn to go on the vibration plate at the gym. Well, listen, those people are paying 30, 40, 50, 60 more a month to have a gym membership. You got to pack the bag, you got to have the towel and the shower gel and then this and that and the other. You got to drive to the gym, you got to go there, you got to do the hard work, you got to put all the hard work in. Or when you step downstairs, when you get out of bed first thing in the morning, if you want that first thing, that energizing boost first thing in the morning, you just switch it on and stand there. Now, I think we could all manage that, couldn't we? It's not one of those great big pieces of equipment that you just think, well, I don't have room for that in my house. You know, it needs putting together like flat pack furniture. You don't need to do any of that. You just literally stand that or sit that somewhere in the house on a flat surface. On a hard surface is better as well. It's probably maybe in the kitchen or something like that, or just somewhere comfortable for you. And then away you go. We're not saying, okay, get this home and you have to be on it 20 minutes every single day religiously. What we're saying is try, start, move in the right direction, because if this is toning muscle, remember exercise, and especially if you're working muscle groups and muscle fibers, it's also burning calories at the same time. So hopefully, do you know what? We can change shape the way that we want to without becoming, you know, bodybuilder status. Maybe you want that, but maybe it's just about flattening and toning. Maybe it's about getting the shape back in this. I don't know. But I do know that we've got this under £100, and I do know that we've got it free P&P. And it's a big item. Listen, I would not want to be dragging this from the high street to the car park. I wouldn't want to be, lifting it around here, there and everywhere. This is brilliant for under £100. Give us a call. It's a free call, remember. And this is one charge of $99.99. I'm not saying to you right now, come on, sign on the dotted line. £40 a month for the next 12 months. You can't get out of it without a month in writing. $99.99 once. And this might not be for you. It might be a present for someone else right now. It might be somebody that's sitting next to you right now that's been talking to you a long, long time about, do you know what, I need to do something. I can't just sit here and just have it make me feel the way it makes me feel. Because being the wrong shape, being unhappy with your own body is one of those things that gets you down. Listen, that's me as well. I'm happy to say it. Sometimes I look at myself on TV recordings and I think, oh, awful. And I know they say telly puts pounds on you. Well, the pounds are already there. But on telly, it looks more. So I've got one of these. And I'm not on it 20 minutes every day. I'm telling you that now. But I want to take some time out every now and again. And I want to get on this. And actually, I know that the feeling that I get from being on it is a good feeling. It makes me feel energized. It makes me feel like I've done my thing. I'm not doing it in front of anybody else. I actually have this in my garage because I've got quite a big garage actually as it happens. So I go in there and I step on that. Got nobody watching me. I'm not surrounded by beautiful muscle pound goddesses like our Larissa here. So I don't feel embarrassed. I don't feel out of place. I don't have to spend hundreds on gym gear. I can go out wearing whatever I want to. Pair of shorts and a t-shirt, and I'm on it for half an hour. It's got to feel good, Emma, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, it does. And I must admit, when I've kind of looked at various videos as well about the different positions that you can do, the different exercises that you can do, I've actually seen it where you kind of got your girlfriends working at the same time, and there's couples actually working as well.
Yeah.
So, if you don't want to get yourself one, and then you want to get maybe your husband or your wife one, or your sister perhaps, because I think it's really good when you do have someone there to help motivate you as well.
Yeah.
But again, this is such a good way just to kind of like start off and get going. Can I just show you how you attach the grips to it as well?
Yeah, please do. Yeah, because it comes with resistance bands as well, which is great, which is superb. Can I just say one other thing? If at the moment you run or you walk, that's fine when the weather's good. But what happens in the depth of winter when it's cold and wet and muddy? You don't really want to be out there jogging and running, do you? Okay, so they just clip on.
Very easily just clip on. And when you're not actually using them, this little handle here just kind of like moves back again. So you can just simply unclip it. I'll show you, just unclip it. and then it just kind of like folds back in again. So you just simply pull it out. So if you are wanting to do a bit of a workout using the upper body and doing your arms, and you can do. So I'm just going to pop this one on as well, just on the right hand side. There we go.
So the resistance bands, they're just about adding a bit more of a challenge to the exercise, I guess, are they?
Yeah, and I must admit, like, I never really used to work my arms until I started using this, because I've got quite kind of like slim arms. I've got quite skinny arms. All my muscles are all in my legs, hockey players' legs, you see.
Yeah.
So it is really good to kind of like start using, kind of working your upper body. So it's like very simple. You kind of basically do kind of like your bicep curls. So you can just really, and again, just kind of like at the pace that you want to do it as well.
Yeah.
And obviously you'll be on the vibration plate and you're working your whole body and just this extra upper body as well. There's actually really one that you can do that I saw on a video. I was going to switch it on just for a second.
Yeah, go for it,
I'll just pop it on. So when you're on your plate, if you actually cross over, and then pulling it this way.
Right now, so that's going to be working your arm muscles.
Yeah.
You can be engaging your core as well, can't you? Because
Definitely feel it there.
You can be doing, I guess ladies as well can be doing their, is it pelvic floor as well at the same time?
Pelvic floor, I'm doing it right now, Derek.
With a smile on your face as well. And that's what I think this is all about. It's about being able to do exercise that actually puts a smile on your face. And you know what? If you can end up with a little bit more definition, like we can see with Larissa there, who is super fit, she does exercise regularly, but you can see there, even she is working that muscle tone as well. And she's on quite high intensity. So you can actually sit on one side of it as well. It's not going to topple over. It's very, very strong. It's very, very stable. Emma, just very quickly, because we're about to run out of time. So if you haven't got yours, do jump on the phone line and grab this, because I know the last time we had them around, it took a long time to kind of restock. Price-wise, how do you think this kind of sits in the market? Because $99.99, I mean, I've seen a lot at £150, 200 plus.
Easy, and all you need, you don't kind of need the one that has got the handlebars at the front and the stand. And of course, when you do go to the gyms, you will see these vibration plates, and they're at the higher end of the market, and they look good. But when you've got the vibration plate and you've got these extras on the side as well, if you want to work your upper body, I think it is a brilliant price point. It really is, and just a really good way. It's not an expensive way to get motivated and kind of start your fitness. No. And like we've said before, it's about people at various levels of fitness as well. You could be a beginner, like I say, you know, I mean, I had a baby, 15 months ago now, and it took me quite a while to get back into my running. Whereas this could have been like a gentle way just to kind of get back into my fitness overall. And as I say, if you have people in your life right now, and sadly we all do, who and you know, and thank heavens that people who are in treatment for a variety of different conditions want to come back to life, and they want to start moving again, but they're still on the medication that has, you know, awful side effects, etc., etc. So it's quite a nice, gentle way sort of back into reality, isn't it, for those people? Yeah, it is, and I think as well, the kind of like really no age limit on this either.
No.
You know, if you are a lot older, you don't get out very often.
Yes.
You can't kind of go walking and get your circulation going. This is going to do it for you instead.
That's a good point, actually, because I recently went to a physiotherapy for a problem I had with my shoulder, and I saw quite a few people, some older people who were having joint issues, whether it be shoulders or hips or knees or whatever, who were actually given low impact exercises. A lot of those were on walking machines, but I noticed those people who were on walking machines were just really working their legs. It wasn't really engaging a lot more muscle than just the legs. And you know what happens to us over the years? Even if we walk a lot, even if we do a little bit of exercise, then actually what we tend to do is work our leg muscles, and then we carry on consuming, and we sort of fill up in the middle, don't we? We bloat in the middle. Where this is engaging all of those muscle groups right the way around the body. So it's working the lower legs, the upper legs, the front and the back as well, which you might not be so proud of as well. It's working the core, it's working the arm muscles as well when you add the resistance bands as well. Now listen, I've got to move on, I'm afraid. I would love to stay with this because I'm a big fan of this product. I've got one personally and I love it. I don't have nearly enough time to sort of go on it, but I know that I don't want to wait until January. I don't want to wait until this has got even worse over Christmas and everything else to actually start doing something about it. This is one of the best prices I've ever seen on TV, under £100, and also free postage, and that makes a big difference for you as well. $99.99 free P&P. I think we all owe it to ourselves a bit, don't we, as well? Here's the details. 0801252. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Larissa. Wonderful, wonderful demos there as well. I mean, it's brilliant. And it's exercise that you can enjoy as well, which I love. Remember, this is under £100 with free P&P. Have a little think about it, and I know the next time you pass the mirror, you'll be thinking, because we're all the same, you'll be thinking, actually, yeah, I'm going to take that first step in the right direction. Give us a call. Do it quickly, though. 0808 123 3333. I can see this being extremely popular. And I tell you what, I love mine.